Alright, well, you may have heard of an unboxing before. Sometimes they do those straight out of the box things about, say, video games and such for review. This is my first opportunity to see the action figures based on my comic, Equals and Opposites. Let's give it a look. Alright, it's a priority mail box here, so it's got one of those little rip tabs. Oh, that's nice. That's a good omen. Little rip tab didn't, rip correctly. And doing this one-handed really is kind of difficult, I'll have you know. Let's prop my arm on here. No? Okay, we'll try it from the other side. There we go. From the other side it works very well. Rip open. We have newspaper. We have more newspaper, and we have finally the comic pack, nicely wrapped up in plastic wrap here. So let me rip open our plastic wrap. As you're sitting there going, oh, the picture's moving around so much, I'm gonna be sick. Yeah, sorry. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. And off goes that. And finally, after literally months, Star Wars Tales Equals and Opposites comic pack. Kyle Katarn, the Yuuzhan Vong Warrior, which they're just saying is Yuuzhan Vong. The term warrior is not there on the package. These are a little different than what we saw before in that there is no name on the side. You've got your Rebel Alliance symbol, which I guess really should have been a New Jedi Order symbol, and we've got our Yuuzhan Vong style symbol. On the back, you have your brief description, the title there, the cover of the issue with the figures, and the other ones in this wave are going to be a Marvel one with Han in Trooper armor and Chewie, your another from Star Wars #1 from Marvel, which has Rebel and Vader with red eyes, and then you have one from, I guess it's what is it? It's Ki-Adi-Mundi and Sharad Het, so I guess it's from Outlander from Star Wars Republic. This is the third, I guess, of that set, and I'm gonna open it since it's the first time. Now, to open it, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to sit the camera down if I can, and maybe prop it up because I don't want to wind up breaking anything, so it's a little bit crooked here, but I don't want to wind up tearing anything too much or anything like that. I'll do a quick light opening here, hopefully, without bending anything too much. And of course half the paper's coming up with it. There we go. Good old fingernail approach. Finger approach seems to work pretty good. Just ask the... Nah, never mind. No time for off-color jokes now, right? Slowly but surely. Okay, got that. Now slowly but surely get the bubble itself off of here. It actually made this a little easier to open than I expected. I expected to have to fight this like every time I buy a USB cable or something like that, where you gotta take a knife just to slash through the dang paper, or through the whatchamacallit, through the packaging, the bubble that it's in. Plastic. And I do believe we may have it here. There we go. Bubble is totally separated. Here's our back card out here. La la la. Put off to the side. Lifting us back up again. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, here's the comic. The comic itself is advertising Dark Horse stuff on the back. Here is the comic. Now we'll compare the covers here in a second. The biggest difference, of course, is that you have your 30 up here, the 30th anniversary thing. Number 21 is here, not on the other side. There's no other indication of anything else in the comic. All the titles have been out of there. Flip it open. You've got your Tales, Equals, and Opposites. It's the first time I've ever seen the credits of my comic as the only credits in a comic book. So Tales, Equals, and Opposites. It's got, of course, everybody there. Now the cover and the designer are names that I wasn't as familiar with, of course. Let's talk about special thanks to, etc., etc., etc. which is pretty cool. I think it's funny that it says, if you actually look at the text, which I'm sure you can't read on this small recording format, but it says Star Wars Comic Pack number 34, Star Wars Tales number 21 dash equals and opposites, December 2007. That's how long it's been since they got this ready for the comic pack that they kept getting delayed on. How screwed up is that? Then of course you have the comic itself running without advertisements all the way through until you finally reach the end. You got a Transformers, Star Wars Transformers advertisement. You have a Dark Horse advertisement. You have a Star Wars Hasbro advertisement. I'm sure all these advertisements are way, 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 way out of date. But there's the comic, which is cool. Now here, of course, is the bubble of the figures. Pop this open here. The little, whatever you call it, it's not really a stand thing, but you know, the thing that's got their names on it. And here are the figures, and dang, these figures look cool, especially this Vong, holy crap. Alright, again, let's just pop them out, I guess, from the back. There we go. Here, wow, cool. Here's your Kyle Katarn action figure. Points of articulation at the knees, at the waist, the hips, arms. He's got that, what he calls it, a pauldron, is that what you call the thing? Over here on his shoulder, which is kind of cool. Though the fact that it moves is kind of weird, but I guess that may be part of the way that his clothing works. He's got his blue lightsaber. I don't know if the hilt is anything special. I'm not big on the figures very much. He's got a blaster. I keep pointing in the wrong direction because I'm looking at it. He's got a blaster there inside of his holster, which I guess he could take out and use. But that's cool. Your Chuck Norris looking kind of Kyle Katarn. Very cool. That pauldron thing, by the way, if you look in the comic, one of the few times there's an error in the comic or anything that's that's messing with continuity, I believe there are one or two shots, I don't know if it's flipped or something, where you see the pauldron switch which shoulder it's on, I believe. And then we have, first off, this is our amphistaff here. You may recall Yuuzhan Vong warriors use like a snake thing that becomes a staff when it stiffens, so there's his amphistaff. And, again, trying to pop him out from the back. His arm seems to not want to come out. I think he's stuck in there by something. I don't know what. Is there a... well... he does seem to be stuck in there by something. Ah, it's like a little piece of plastic or a rubber band around his wrist. Again, you're like, oh, I'm gonna puke. Oh, still got a rubber band around one arm. Let's get rid of that little rubber band there. There you go. Yuuzhan Vong Warrior. Urgh. Wow, he's got pretty good articulation too. He's got the articulation on the knees, the waist, arms and such. I think, yeah, lower arms and whatnot. Big old bruiser. And this is the one that I guess the Force cast didn't like because he was just too big. Guys, these are based on the artwork in the actual comic. Do you know what a comic pack is? Look at any of the other ones. They're based on the artwork in the comic and the proportions out of the comic. And for this comic, the first time the Yuuzhan Vong, outside of Nominor, or these brief shadowy glimpses that we get out of the Chewbacca comic, it was the first time that the Yuuzhan Vong were ever seen in comic form outside of those kind of shadowy appearances, and James Reyes made them particularly menacing and large because that's his art style. If you want to know more about Reyes' art style, one of the best places to look is the covers of some of those Transformers comics back when Dreamwave first started producing them. So this is the right size for him, not to mention the fact that he is pretty menacing. Although I must say, yeah, he's big. Even next to Kyle Katarn, you know, he's big. I'm not really sure that that is even too much of an exaggeration compared to Kyle, based on the description we got out of some of the new Jedi Order books. He was a particularly large individual. So here's your characters. And let me flip open the comic, as I'm, again, trying to do things one-handed here. Kyle Katarn, Kyle Katarn. Yeah, he needs his own like little theme song, right? Here's a good shot of the battle sequence with the Vong warriors, and of course here is the Vong warrior himself. You might notice the face here, kind of with the little like fanginess beside it and everything. That's what his face here presumably is based on. Kyle making his big leap, big jump with the pauldron on his left, or I guess his right shoulder, left to us, the way that the figure here is made to look, and so on and so on. Yeah, it's Kyle with the pauldron. You can see it on all the different shots here. But anyway, yeah, so there is, finally, after literally months, not just since the comic came out, it's been years since the comic came out, but literally months since I was told it was going to be a comic pack, and literally months since it was supposed to come out, and literally at least a month since it started showing up in stores, while I'm still waiting on StarWarsShop.com and Toy Wiz to finally ship out their versions of the comic, their, not versions, but their shipments of them, given the fact that both of them say that Hasbro hasn't sent them squat yet. Here, finally, is my comic pack, and I'm very excited about it. It's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed watching this sort of, what do you call it, unboxing, as they say in the video game world. Hope you'll go check them out if you happen to see them in stores. Again, Toy Wiz is doing pre-orders still, but at this point they're $28.99, so frankly it's going to take a lot, I think, to get most fans to go through a Toy Wiz type store to get them, other than just waiting for them to come to their local retailer. But who knows if they'll actually ever wind up at that local retailer.